Hello and welcome to Lost in the World. Today we are breaking down New World and we're going to be talking about where New World is at as a game at the moment. It's an interesting one, to be honest. I think New World is showing a lot of potential in a lot of areas, but there's a lot of issues in terms of the core foundation of the game, which I think needs a bit of work. And I am now well and truly into the end game. I'm in the grind well and truly. I'm at 530 expertise, 583 gear score, having bought a few things from the auction house. And yeah, I feel like I'm in a position now, having really played the end game for a couple of weeks now, to really talk about its positives, its negatives, where it can improve, the issues the game faces. And we're going to break this down to some key areas. We're going to have the improvements and changes they've made with the recent patch. So what is the end game now? We're going to be breaking down the gypsum system, expertise system, how crafting works into the end game, the auction house, and PvP. And then we're going to break down the key issues the game still faces. Okay, it's going to be really honest, really analysis of New World. And that's because I'm really enjoying the game. You know, TLDR, I'm enjoying the game, though I do feel it has a daunting amount of information and daunting amount of grinding in it. And that is something they could work on, as well as some quality of life issues such as matchmaking, the gold economy, tuning orb system, time investment. All those things are going to be talked about today. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get lost in the world of New World. Okay, so if you're coming into New World, there's a few things you need to know. First of all, the level 1 to 60, or 1 to 50, I believe it is in this game, sorry, grind is a tough one. It takes a long time. There's a lot of mind-numbing quests, as there are in many MMOs, to be honest. It's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of quality of life issues early on in the game, up to that point where you're lacking Azoth. You're going to have to walk around a lot. It isn't the best pre-game experience, as in the point up to the end game, for me, it was a slog. I'm being totally honest. But I'm not here to talk about that, because that is the same in basically every MMO. It's, you know, it's a slog. The quests are pretty generic. You've seen them all before. Go here, kill this, collect this, do that. I'm here to talk about the end game. And what is the end game now? Well, the end game in New World is broken down into a couple of things. One is leveling up your expertise and your gear score. Expertise is a measure of the potential power of your item drops. Drops from creatures in areas that are level 60 plus have a chance to increase its value. As your expertise level increases, you must fight more powerful creatures or areas to see additional increases. Expertise is basically a way of getting drops in the game that match your gear score level, which can then roll higher stats, which then can be sold or used on your character or on your alternate weapon classes to make your character stronger. Now, you can just buy a high gear score, but ultimately the expertise is what you need to be improving. The new system they've put in place basically allows for a more streamlined and focused expertise leveling experience. It's a massive improvement on where the game was previously. The game previously, and even though this is still in the game, it's not the core aspect of the game, was literally just getting a group of 100 people running past enemies and collecting chests, which is not my idea of a fun end game. That has now changed with the gypsum system, thank God. It's pretty straightforward. You go here, you do the relative tasks. For example, to do this, you need to kill 3 elite enemies, named elite enemies in the open world. To do this, you need to do one of the end game dungeons, etc. My time was just set cooldown, sorry, so it's reset. You get this from the encrypted portal, so perfect timing actually. You craft an orb. You then choose what you want to upgrade. So for me, I'd look at my lowest expertise level, which in this case is shield. I would then go and see if my shield's off cooldown. Is it off cooldown? It is off cooldown. I craft a shield orb, shield cast, whatever it's called, and then we open it and we hope for a high number. So it's currently a 524. I'd hope for a 528 would be good. Let's see what we get. 527. Okay, so not terrible. As you can see, it has gone up. That is the end game. I'm trying to get to 590 and then my drops will be high. So I took a break from New World, so I'm a little bit behind other players, but still, we're in a good spot. And that is basically what the focused part of the end game is. You kill 10 elite enemies, level 55 and above, by crafting a potion. You get these from the new event, Outpost Rush, Corrupted Portals, Arenas, caches from crafting, which we'll talk about in a minute. Genesis and Lazarus or something like that anyway. But that's basically the focus end game. The other place you get the expertise runs from is running the end game areas. When I mean running, I mean running. Literally, you zerg everything, you run past everything. There's hundreds of people just opening chests and running. It's not the most fun thing in the world. I don't think that's what Amazon had in mind when they thought about the New World end game experience, but that is part of the end game experience if you want to level up your expertise quickly. If I had the Benny Hill theme music, I would run it over this clip right now, because this is what the end game looks like, a large chunk of it, but I don't, so I'll just hum it. Bear with me. It goes something like that anyway. Right. And that's basically what your end game, once you reach the max level, looks like. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing these runs. You're going to be getting your expertise out. You're going to be getting better drops. And you're going to be using the gold you get to buy things from the auction house to level up your characters and to improve your crafting. Now, let's talk about crafting, because crafting is something that, on one level, you could call it a grind. On another level, you can call it weirdly therapeutic. I've really enjoyed leveling the crafting on my character. It has cost me a lot of money, but ultimately I'm looking at it as a long-term investment for my account. Now, leveling up crafting involves you going out into the world, chopping trees, smashing ores, smashing rocks, coming back, crafting things to level this up. Now, they did add the system in that gives you aptitude caches. Now, these caches are fantastic. They give you some really rare rewards, and they are well worth leveling your crafting up, because once you start leveling these aptitude levels, you get a bunch of stuff that you can use to create very rare materials that can sell for good money on the auction house, which does really help, because gold economy in this game is a problem. They have talked about this before. One thing I will give Amazon Game Studios a lot of credit for is that they really do talk to the community about the issues the game faces, and I really like that about the company. Now, one thing I will say about New World, it is important to be in a guild that has people that are leveled in various different trade skills and crafting skills, because there's no way you can do all of this. I am going to get my weaponsmithing up to 200, and that will be it. After that, I will not spend any serious money on leveling up anything else. I will rely on my guild to provide me the other things I need, and just consequentially, while I'm playing the game, if I get items to level things up, I'll level them, but I won't spend any money on leveling up anything else, because it is expensive to do so. And I would advise the same for yourself. Focus on a couple of things you enjoy doing, level those up, get those aptitude quests, craft those things, make money off that, and that will feed into your end game look. But this is a great way of feeding back into the end game for players. It gives you rewards, good rewards, for going out, gathering in the world, and populating the game world. Now, let's talk about the auction house. The gold economy is not great, and you do spend a bit too much time for my liking in the auction house. Some people will argue that's just the way an MMO is. I'm not a huge fan of just sitting there, going up here, and just looking at this and buying and selling. It's a bit mundane, but they are looking at fixing the gold economy to make things a little bit easier, but ultimately that might just lead to inflation. We'll see. But that's my take on the auction house. It's fine. It's passable at the moment. I have no issues with it. Now, let's talk about some of the major issues that are facing New World players, especially if you're new coming into the game. What are the issues? Well, first of all, matchmaking is non-existent apart from for Outpost Rush. It can be tough sometimes to find people to play with that you want to do things with. Now, you could join a guild. Maybe my guild's just not that active, especially during the day hours when I'm playing mostly. Most of them work, and therefore they don't play during the day. But I struggle sometimes to find a group to do certain things with. It's not the best system in the world. I would like to see a more streamlined matchmaking system for certain content. The other thing is a tuning orb system. Now, I specifically leveled stonecrafting because getting tuning orbs is expensive and a pain in the backside, and tuning orbs let you play endgame expeditions, but for some reason Amazon Game Studios decided to lock the endgame expeditions behind basically keys. You need keys to get into these expeditions. They cost a lot of money, or if you get your stone cutting up, you can craft the keys yourself and sell entries, which is what I've ended up doing. I'm kind of like a glorified bouncer to endgame expeditions. It's not a good system, but the problem now is if they get rid of that system, people here who have invested serious money in stone cutting are going to get absolutely done over. So I don't know how they fix that system now. Kind of the horse has bolted on that one, I feel. Maybe I'm saying that because I spent a lot of time leveling this up. But yeah, I don't like the tuning up system. It needs changing. It's time gating or investment gating people out of doing endgame expeditions. Not the most fun thing in the world. I haven't done a single arena yet for that reason, because I haven't got the money or the time to make arena keys, and neither do I have the gold to make arena keys because I'm leveling up weaponsmithing. Maybe when I stop leveling up weaponsmithing, I will have more money, because weaponsmithing is expensive to level up. We'll have to wait and see. Another thing that's daunting to new players is Azoth. Now, later on in the game, Azoth is not an issue because you get Azoth from a lot of activities. You get them from your caches. You get them from corrupted portals, which are these things here. I think they're empty in this area. Let me look. Map's bugged out. Brilliant. But yes, you do get corrupted portals here, and basically you run them and you get a lot of Azoth and you're fine. But up till the end game, Azoth is a problem. You got to walk everywhere. It's a pain in the ass. They need to have, I believe, a kind of ticking system of Azoth where you get, I don't know, 10 Azoth an hour or something. So even when you're offline, you're getting Azoth. And I think that will just make it a little bit less daunting for new players. We want to see new players in the game. I do feel some things in New World kind of are almost a barrier, a mental barrier to new players entering the game. I would like to see that less of a issue. The other issue is time investment. Listen, I can't lie. I enjoy the game, but the amount of time it's taken me to do all of this. I mean, what is my time played on this game at the moment? I don't even know. I dare not even check. Should we have a look? To get to this point has taken me 257 hours. That's a lot of hours. And not even that much. Most players have played a lot more. I mean, and I'm only at 530 expertise. By the time I get to 590, I've probably sunk in double that. You know, it's a lot of time to get to there. I think this process needs streamlining to attract more players. Is it daunting for new players? Well, if you're a new player looking to join New World, do you find this daunting? I think if you've got the time to invest in a game and you want it in an MMO to run, I think New World's a great place to start. It'll take up a lot of your time. But yeah, I think for a new player it's daunting. I may be wrong. Maybe this is a hardcore game. A lot of people say that to me. It's for hardcore players. But ultimately, it shouldn't just be for hardcore players. We want to have a thriving community. We have a lot of different types of players in the game. I do like the way the end game is streamlined now. I do feel less of a time investment in the end game, but to get to this point has taken a long time. At least now I know I can come in, I can do this. I'll get 8 upgrades a day, 7 upgrades a day. I'm happy with that. And I can run a few, you know, end game, run around these Benny Hill missions. And yeah, I'll get a few more upgrades and I'm happy with that. And if I want to, I can level my crafting, which I am doing at the moment. And really, that's the end game of New World. That's my thoughts on the end game. Overall, I'm happy where it's at. And what I will say is this: the foundation of New World is very, very strong. No MMOs really start anywhere near where they end in terms of quality. And I think that New World has a really solid foundation. If you want to get into an MMO style game and you want to start with a new community that have started the game recently, I think New World's a solid place to start. And I really like that Amazon gives you listen to the players. They're openly talking about the issues, and I think it's going to keep improving regularly. So give it a shot. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm live streaming the game on Twitch link down below. And yeah, let me know what you think of the end game systems in New World. Let me know what your thoughts are on it, where you think it can be improved, what you don't like, what you do like. And we'll go from there. If anyone's got any useful links to help me understand the auction house, that'd be great, because I don't have a clue what to sell or buy at the moment. Other than that, take care, peace out, thanks for watching.